Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulihil ameen wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'een wa man tabi'ahum bi ihsanin ila yawmiddin amma ba'd. قال الله عز وجل كلما دخل عليها زكريا المحراب وجد عندها رزقا قال يا مريم أنى لك هذا. Dear viewers, I have recited a small portion of an ayah from Surah Al Imran today, and the problem, the issue, the social evil that we are discussing today is the fact that young girls of our generation are becoming more and more rebellious. There was a time, ladies and gentlemen, when only boys became rebellious. Only boys rebelled. But now, this time and age, girls are also starting to be rebellious. Perhaps it is owing to a lot of factors. And one such factor that we have today, that we'd like to discuss today rather, is that these young girls are not being parented the way they were supposed to be parented. I recited this ayah from Surah Al Imran in which Zakaria alayhi salam talks to Maryam, and he says every time he went into the mihrab, into the chamber of Maryam alayhi salam, he found that there were numerous fruits which were unseasonal too. So he asked her once this question. He said, Anna laki hadha, Ya Maryam, Anna laki hadha. Where do you get these fruits from? Now, the question that you and I may have to ask ourselves is, as parents, as fathers, or should I say even as mothers, do we ask our young boys and girls, especially girls, do we ask them why and from where they've got whatever they've got? If you find anything fishy in their cupboards, if you find anything fishy in their purses, or for that matter anywhere else. Unfortunately, we don't. And this is because of lack of attentiveness, and perhaps also because we are getting a little too busy with our own lives and we don't really have time for them. We got to go back one step and understand that this problem is not going to be solved unless we go back to the drawing room again, sit down with young girls and boys, sit down with our children and talk to them and find out from them as to what matter it is that is concerning them, that's bothering them. You know what happens in a society in general is that you have a boy that perhaps has missed one day's lessons, one day's lecture at the school, at the college, at the university, and this boy approaches the girl and then he says, can I borrow your notes? And that's where it actually begins. The girl starts sharing her notes with him, and then very soon you would see that she's roaming around with him on the bike, in the car, and going out, to cinema with that boy, and eventually they become rebellious. We got to nip it in the bud. We got to stitch it even before you require those 9 stitches, because a stitch in time, as you know, can save 9 stitches, can save you from 9 stitches. Therefore, we got to keep seeking from Allah Azza wa Jal. We got to keep asking from Allah Azza wa Jal that Allah Azza wa Jal make our daughters the coolness of our eyes, not just daughters, I should say, make all our children the coolness of our eyes. رَبَّنَا هَبَ لَنَا مِنْ أَزْوَاجِنَا وَذُرِّيَّاتِنَا قُرَّةَ أَعْيُنٍ وَجَعَلْنَا لِلْمُتَّقِينَ إِمَامًا. Likewise, there's this companion whose name is Abu Talha Ansari radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. He happened to once ask Sulaim. By the way, Abu Talha Ansari at this point in time had not yet become a Muslim. So he asked Sulaim radiyallahu anha that he wanted to marry her. You know the reply that Sulaim radiyallahu ta'ala anha gives him? She says, Wallahi ma mithlaka ya Aba Talha, walakinnaka rajulun kafir, wa ana imra'atun muslimah. She says There's no one like you, I understand, Abu Talha. However, what do we do about the fact that you are not a Muslim as yet and I am a Muslim? Now, do we have in our society these Sulaim in our houses? We got to find that out. The best way we could do that is to let our children understand stories of the companions of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. May Allah make it easy for us. Ameen ya Rabbal Alameen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.